Hello. For today's lesson, what you're going to be working on is the Amplify simulation that represents our supply pod drop. What's nice about the Amplify supply pod simulation is that you're going to see more real world application of materials such as fiberglass or acrylic. On the inside, you might see the plastic bags that are filled with air, and then you'll have small parachutes, large parachutes. So I'm going to walk you through how to access the simulation as well as what your worksheet is going to look like. Now, this is the agenda that's up on the screen for today. You're going to see that it says to follow along with the screencastify and then complete the worksheet. The worksheet that you're receiving looks like this: prototype simulation on Amplify Futura Workspace. And your paper is going to be front and back. That's giving you 4 different opportunities to test different combinations of materials. You must complete one worksheet front and back. However, you'll notice on the screen over here in orange, we are also having a class competition. And so for your class competition, your first goal is to make sure that all 3 of these conditions are a strong setup. Now, looking at our worksheet, we're going to walk through how to do all of this and where you're going to get your numbers, but you're going to be identifying down here at the bottom cargo damage if it's strong, moderate, weak, shell condition if it's strong, moderate, or weak, and then also total cost. And so for yours to be a strong success, you want strong in all 3 categories. And then we're going to have a lot of people that are capable of doing that. So the next criteria would be we want the smallest damage done to the cargo and then also the least amount of money. Now, your prizes, we have the prize bins located in the classroom that has different things like slap hands, fidgets, computer stickers, as well as we're going to be putting slips of paper in there, which are worth 2 extra credit points for the trimester. So let's take a look at how you're going to access the simulation. When you go to Amplify and log in, you don't even need to go into any of the actual units. Just up here in the top right corner, you're going to click on Programs and Apps. Now, there's lots of different applications that are listed here. You want to find the one that says Futura Workspace and kind of has this geometric, colorful object on top of it. So Futura Workspace. When you click on it, you are going to be given lots of different options. You're going to see metabolism, natural selection, maybe. You might see Earth's changing climate. We want to find the one that says force and motion. That's the actual internship you want to click on for this project. You're going to click enter. Now, there's a lot of information over here on the left that we're not going to use. Remember, we chose not to do the Amplify version of our pod drop. Instead, we only wanted to complete the sim. So to access the sim in the top right corner, you're going to see a little pod drop, right, with the parachute and the little pod underneath it. Go ahead and click on that. When you click on that, you're going to be taken into your workspace. This is where you get to design and develop your supply pod with the goals of having the least cargo damage, the best shell condition, and then also cost the least amount of money. Over here on the left is where you're going to be clicking on what type of material you want for the shell, what types of materials you want for the padding, and so on and so on. Looking at your worksheet, you're going to be responsible for filling in all of these different things by hand as you complete them on your simulation. Looking at our supply drop, some of these materials might not be materials you've ever heard of. Acrylic, aluminum, fiberglass, steel, wood. That's why you've also been provided the green packet that says background info on it. That green packet is going to provide you with just a little bit of information about each of the different materials. For example, acrylic, it'll tell you how massive it is, 10 kilograms, that it costs $400, which I know is listed here on the screen. However, it's also going to give you a little bit of description, commonly referred to as plexiglass. It's a plastic-like material known for being strong and flexible. So that might help you make your decision as to what materials you want to place on your object. When we're talking about the shell, we're talking about the outside of your project. For example, this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on fiberglass, okay? Not the least expensive, not the most expensive. Then you click on padding. Padding is what you're putting on the inside of your project. Now, you have 5 different options: airbags, feathers, metal foam, packing peanuts, and paper pads. And as you click the plus or minus sign, you're going to notice this bar from 0% to 100% getting filled in. When you look at your worksheet, you'll notice it says percent airbags, percent feathers, percent metal foam. Okay. As you click on them, you'll now see each one of those things tells you I have 10% airbags right now when I clicked one time. I click 2, 3 times. Now I have 30% airbags. And then I'll click feathers twice. I'll click metal foam once, packing peanuts 3 times, paper pads once. And so you're going to see all of your percentages listed right here in the bottom right corner underneath padding. Make sure you fill that in on your worksheet. The next thing is add-on. The top is going to be whether or not you want flaps, which kind of look like wings, a large parachute, or a small parachute. Again, in that background information, you can receive more information about them. For this case, I'm going to do a small parachute. Finally, the add-on for the bottom, you have foam blocks. You can see what those look like. Springs, which would kind of be like the inside of a pen, a click pen, or trestles, which are these geometric shapes at the bottom. Again, go into the background reading, see what they're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on foam blocks. We had a lot of people who use packing peanuts on the bottom of their supply pod. So let's see what that looks like. When you're ready to test, over here on the right, bottom right, you're going to click the word test. Your supply pod is going to drop, and then we get the actual success. You're going to notice over here the test results. If you have forgotten to fill in your padding, or you forgot to what you did as your add-ons for your worksheet, because again, you need to have those things on your worksheet, you will get an opportunity to see it here. Your test results are located here. So the force that was actually on your pod, the mass of your pod, the velocity at which it hit the ground, and then you'll see shell condition, total cost, and cargo damage. So those 3 things in the black box here are what you're going to evaluate based off of what I have on the screen here. So for cargo damage, I see 4.3%. Looking up here, I'm in the moderate range because I'm at 4.3. When I look at shell condition, my shell condition is shade only shelter. So looking at my criteria, again, I'm in the moderate range. Finally, looking at my total cost, I'm at $1,156.35. Looking at our agenda, oh, that's weak. Okay, that's greater than $1,000. So this space pod that I just created got a moderate, and a weak. Once you complete one and you have filled in your entire worksheet for that one test, you move on to your second test. To complete a second test, just simply hit the edit button in the bottom right corner. And then you can choose one of 2 things. You can just simply go through and adjust the things that you have done, or you can hit this reset button down here and it will start you all over again. So you would say, yes, I want to clear my data, and then you would start all over again. Again, for your worksheet, you must complete the front and back of one piece of paper, which means that you have completed 4 separate tests. However, for those of you that are trying to get that extra credit or any of the prizes really that are in there, you're going to want to continue to go. Your goal is to get green for all 3 categories, which means cargo damage is less than 4.2%. Your shell condition is a watertight shelter, and your cost is less than $550. If we have a tie with those, then we're going to go with the smallest damage done to the cargo and the least amount of money as our second criteria. You will hold on to these worksheets until you get back to class on Monday, at which point I will check them in. I will check who is our winner for the class competition, and you will receive your prizes on Monday. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. You can reach out to Ms. Hubley. Otherwise, complete this in class. Have a good weekend, and I will see you.